How's everyone doing today? This is your boy FlyIsland guy, and we're back with another CRJ video today. We are here in Aruba, and we are going to be taking a flight over to St. Kitts. Remember, we were in Nevis in a previous trip, so as I mentioned to you, there was some new scenery there, and I haven't had a chance to see the St. Kitts scenery, so we're gonna hop on this Aruba Airlines flight today, and we're gonna go over and check out St. Kitts today. Overall, it's a wonderful day here in Aruba. We're looking at 30 degrees C, it's 86 degrees Fahrenheit, scattered clouds. It's just a beautiful day to fly. So we're gonna hop into the cockpit now. We're pretty much suited and booted, if you will, locked and loaded, pretty much ready to go. I just need to finish off the checklist and push back and get the plane started. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to fire up Pushback helper, which for some reason I always forget to do. Alright, just gonna wait for it to connect. And there we go. Alright, and let's finish off our checklist. So we pretty much already started the APU. That is good to go. So we're gonna go ahead and we'll remove the wheel chocks. Still have those guys on. Go outside. Wheel chocks are there. Sorry. There we go. Cool. Wheel chocks are off. Ready to check the weather. Gonna go ahead and set the barometer. And that's done. Alright, so flight director's on today. We are heading up to 39,000 feet. Sorry. It's going to be a pretty high cruise. Ooh, fingers getting tired. Alright, 39,000 locked and loaded. And we're going to be departing runway 11 today here in Aruba. So, going to dial in 115. On the heading indicator, and go ahead and just on that. Cool. Alright, so what else do you have going on? Initial altitude is already in, departure frequency squawk, not worrying about all that. Okay, so pretty much beacon's on, and we could stop the pushback. So get our beacons on, and we shall call the pushback truck, set my brakes off, or disengage the parking brake. So fuel pumps on. And when we start moving, I will stop the right engine. There you go. Cool, so right engine starting now. And we are looking for 20% into, which it is passing now.
Ladies and gentlemen, please pay attention as we display the safety features and procedures of the aircraft in case of an emergency. During an emergency, please remain in your seats with your seatbelts fastened and your seats in the upright position. In case of a drop in cabin pressure, breathing masks will drop from the ceiling and should be placed over your
Start
head.
the left engine.
If there is smoke in the cabin during the evacuation of the aircraft, the walkway emergency lights will display to the exits, which are located here and here. In case of an extreme emergency landing, you will be instructed to get into the brace position, which is executed by placing your head between your knees with your hands over your head. We would also like to remind you that you should turn off all electronic devices. We thank you for paying attention during this brief presentation.
Stop this pushback for now. Thank you, sir. I really hope they make pushback helper for FS 2020, because I actually love that plugin. Give you lots of control over pushing back the plane, and I just like that interaction as well with the ground crew. Alright, left engine stable and started, so go back up, turn this guy off, you don't need any more. APU can go off as well. And anti-ice as required. It's pretty hot out here, so I'm not going to use it yet. And probes can come on. Alright. I think the startup checklist is complete. Next thing we'll do, before we start taxiing, nose wheel steering, let's arm that taxi lights on. And flaps, go to takeoff position. Alright. Also, let's arm the reversers. And I think we haven't set our takeoff trim yet, so let's do that as well. Takeoff trim is 5.8, so just watch right here. Oh, wrong way. .8 set, and taxi checklist is complete. So we're going to go ahead and taxi now to runway 11. Looks like we have an aircraft coming in for a landing as well, which is cool. So yeah, why I decided to go with Aruba Airlines. You know me, always have a story. So my grandmother, she lives in Curacao. So if you know, Curacao is part of what they call the ABC Islands, which is Aruba, Bonaire, and Curacao. So growing up as a child, visited there a few times, and when we used to visit, we used to take ALM. Now, I'm not sure if you've heard ALM, it's now a defunct airlines, but it was the airline, kind of like the national airline for the Netherlands Antilles, which is places like Aruba, Bonaire, Curacao, I believe St. Martin as well. Basically the Dutch Caribbean. So unfortunately, as I mentioned before, that airline no longer exists. So I'm going to be using Aruba Airlines to complete this this flight today. Alright, so airline coming in for a landing here. It's like is that an A380? Yes it is. Too bad I missed the landing though. Alright. I don't think anyone else is coming, so we're going to go ahead and just get lined up on the runway right away. So, taxi lights off. I actually turned them on for once. And let's get all of our landing lights on. And our TCAS is already set. Fuel cross flow to manual. And strobes on, landing lights on. Actually, strobes are off. Landing lights on. Toggle switch pressed. We are in toggle mode now. Alright. And we are ready for takeoff, folks. So let's spool up. About 50%. Toggle mode. Takeoff speed today is going to be rotate. Our rotate speed is 129. Hitting about now. Rotate. We shall go gear up. Trim it out a little bit. it. Keep doing that. Let's go autopilot on. And I'm gonna go climb mode. Speed. We're gonna go 250. Nav mode will come on as well. Alright, so we're looking good so far. I've gotten into this horrible habit of hitting the altitude select button. And things are going weird already, so let's see. Disconnect autopilot real quick. Engage autopilot. There we go. And nav mode's already active. We're gonna go speed mode. We're going way too fast. Alright, there we go. Landing lights off. And I'm also in the wrong mode here. There we go. Alright, so I keep having this annoying habit of going to turn the autopilot and I keep hitting the button over on the right hand side. What would normally be the autopilot in the King Air. I keep forgetting the autopilot in the CRJ is on the left hand side, or the button to activate it. So I always mess up my climb by hitting whatever the right button is over here.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now serving sandwiches.
Alright, so all cleaned up. We are climbing at 250 feet now. So let's go through our climb checklist. Reversers are off. And the fuel cross flow goes to auto. Taxi lights are already off. My seatbelts to auto, landing lights are off already. Speed bug go to 290 knots above 10,000 feet, which you're already at. Boom. Cool. And the barrow should be at standard because we've already crossed our transition altitude, and cool, should be about it. So climb checklist is complete. So all we need to do now is just sit back, monitor our instruments, and enjoy the climb. Let's go outside, let's take a quick screenshot. Cool. So, yeah, today should be a pretty smooth flight. The flight plan is pretty much a straight line all the way up to Aruba. St. Kitts. We're going to be doing basically a right turn onto base. And then we'll do a left turn to turn towards the runway. And we'll be landing at runway 7 in St. Kitts. And that's going to be an RNAV approach. We'll go through that in a little bit. Overall, I've been I'm fairly happy with the CRJ. I think a lot of the frustration for me comes from the fact that I don't quite grasp how to fully fly comfortably yet. So it's been, as I said, really frustrating for me trying to handle it, get some smooth flights, get some good recordings for you guys. Even now today I've messed it up again. So we shall see how the landings go. But outside of that, it's decent, man. Like, this is probably the most complex aircraft I've flown in FS 2020 to date. So I'm still trying to get the hang of it. I really want to be able to get up to the A32NX level, but I'm just not there yet. So as you can see, I'm just kind of working my way up through smaller aircraft. So I've ventured to say I've pretty much mastered the King Air now. I was flying a few other smaller planes as well before that, and now I fly the CJ4, and then when I want a little bit more complexity, I come up to the CRJ. And I haven't crashed any of them yet, but you know, first time for everything. So yeah, we're just gonna continue our climb to 39,000. When I come back, we will start our descent into St. Kitts. So we would have started our descent to St. Kitts, and I'll see you guys then. In the meantime, just enjoy some content. I haven't done this in a long time, but just look at some content from St. Kitts. Just kind of see what things are all about there. And when we come back, we'll be starting our descent. It's your boy FlyIsland Guy. We'll be back. So welcome back, everyone. We have started our descent into St. Kitts. While we're descending, let's just take a quick look at our arrival, our approach. So, as I mentioned before, like, basically our approach to St. Kitts is going to be a turn from the main flight plan onto our base leg. So we're coming in here from Gabar, and we are going to just basically follow this flight path down to Lando. Here we are going to make a left turn and head into the runway. It should be a straightforward approach. As I mentioned, it's an RNAV approach. If for some reason there's an issue shooting the approach with RNAV, we'll just fly in visually. I keep minimizing the window. I'm going to take a quick look at the weather in St. Kitts, just to see what we're dealing with. And let's see, 27 degrees C, VFR conditions. Ceiling is 12,000 feet, and have a few clouds at 1,600 feet. So things are looking really good in St. Kitts today. So there should be no issues weather-wise. As you can see on our descent here on the secondary flight display, you can see that in terms of our descent path, we're going to be hitting our target altitude a little ways before the Gabar waypoint. So that's pretty much how I intend to do it. I don't like to be scrambling down through my descent. I'd rather descend early, get to where I need to be, and then start preparing for the next segment. I'm gonna go full flat idle right now. Our speed was kind of picking up a little bit. I've been trying not to go full idle. I've had a couple issues where the speed just absolutely tanked. I don't really know why that was happening, so just trying to keep an eye on things. As long as we can keep it in the 220 to 240 range, that should be all right. Just don't want it to be too slow. Alright, so we're about to cross 10,000 feet, so landing lights will come on. And our transition altitude here in St. Kitts is 5,000 feet. Next one is 6,200 at Imona. So once we level off, we're gonna I'm going to put 6,200 into the altimeter selector, just so that we are prepared. Go 1,700 feet. The St. Kitts is actually right in front of us. Kind of tough to see because it's a little bright outside, but yeah, it's pretty much this mountainous peak right here. So we're basically going to make a right turn, and then we're going to make a left turn and head towards the runway. Didn't realize we were so far out. We're 19, just under 19 nautical miles to the next waypoint. Maybe a little closer than that. As I've mentioned a couple times before, well, basically every time I fly this aircraft, I'm still trying to get the hang of the landings. I'm just so used with the smaller planes I fly. I can literally just like cut the throttle right over the threshold and just adjust the pitch to control my rate of descent. But with the bigger jets, like over the threshold is too early to cut your to cut your engine. So I basically have to have a little bit of power in as I'm landing, and then I guess when I hit around 20 feet, then cut that power and then land it. But something I don't quite have the hang of yet. Alright, so let me just take a quick look at my descent checklist. I need to put in my minimum decision height, which is 1270. Put this in. All these numbers kind of hard to see. Watch the speed. It's up there. Alright, 1270 is in. Already got the assigned altitude in, vertical speed, speed bug, and landing lights. All that's done. So landing checklist complete, but descent checklist complete. Messing this up again. All right. So now we got to descend to 4,200. Do about 2,000 feet per minute, a little more. It's one of the times I wish I had VNav, man. You gotta be a little on the ball, especially if this part of this part of the flight. I'll check my landing elevation as well. All right. So close to 4,200. I gotta go down to 2,700. Pretty much should be lining up on the runway at this point. Runway is like right there, I believe. Yes, that's it. Approach.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are about to land. Please remain seated until we have stopped.
I'm gonna do the initial. Oh, I'm gonna go flaps 8, I guess. Yeah. Arm our thrust reversers. Let's bring this guy up. There we go. So our VREF speed is 132. So we should be doing about 137, 140 for landing. I'm gonna go lower landing gear. Let's just hand fly it. As you can see, there's some cruise ships in. That is not part of the default scenery. Just then lined up here at the runway. Crossed our minimums. Continue.
1,000. Sync rate. Sync rate.
500.
400. Too low. Terrain.
Alright, we're pretty high, but we should be alright.
Pull up.
200.
Sink rate.
100. 50. 40. 30. 20.
Smooth, smooth.
10.
Knots. And 60. Beautiful.
Please remain seated until the aircraft has come to a complete stop. Please remain seated until the aircraft has come to a complete stop.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to St. Kitts. Pull those flaps up. Flying lights could go off, strobes could go off. Flight director can come off. APU, let's get that going. APU doors closed. Actually, I think it was open the whole flight. Alright. Gonna go ahead and park here. Just starting up the APU now. We're not gonna shut off the engine until the... Oh, did I just shut it off? There we go. Alright, so once the APU starts up, we will cut the engines. Normally you'd want to already have that up and running before you even get to the gate. Cool, APU is on. So let's cut the engines. And we will open the door.
Ladies and gentlemen, the door is open. Please make your way to the exit and please make sure you have all your personal items and carry-on luggage.
Alright. Cool. So we got here safely, folks. This is Aruba in St. Kitts. Let's just take a quick look at the scenery as well. You'll have to compare this yourself to the default scenery. But I know especially the night lighting looks amazing. And look at this. So this is the back side of the terminal. Got the parking here. This is cool, man. This is cool. I like that. Awesome. Now, I've been to St. Kitts Airport. I haven't been here forever, so I don't really know exactly how accurate this is, but I'm assuming it's pretty accurate. But developer did a great job, so kudos to you. Alright, I can see that my beacon's still on. Should be off. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this flight. Another successful one in the books for the CRJ. And I will hit you back with a new video sometime soon. In the meantime, stay safe, and most of all, stay fly. I'm out. Peace.